What does looking successful actually cost you every month? Not in effort. Not in stress, but in real dollars after tax, after rent, after everything. Because for a lot of people in their 20s and 30s, success isn't something they build quietly, it's something they maintain visibly. Let's take a simple, realistic example. You're 27. You live in a major city, maybe New York, London, Toronto, or Berlin. You earn around $70,000 a year. On paper, that sounds solid, comfortable, even, but after taxes, your monthly take-home drops to roughly $4,500. Now let's subtract the basics: rent, 美元1 800 utilities, internet, groceries, 700 transportation or car payment, 500 student loan payments, 400 you're left with around 800. That's your margin. That's what your entire financial future depends on. Now this is where things shift, because technically, you're doing fine, but socially, you're slightly behind. Your coworkers are upgrading apartments. Your friends are leasing newer cars. Your Instagram feed is full of dinners, trips, and soft luxury. So without saying it out loud, you adjust. You move to a better apartment. Rent goes from $1,800 to $2,300. You finance a nicer car. Payment increases to $750. You start going out more, another $300 to $500 a month. Nothing extreme, just upgrades. Individually, they feel small. Together, they change everything. Let's revisit your numbers. Your take-home is still $4,200. But now, rent 2美元 300, living expenses 700 car 750 loans 400 lifestyle spending 400 you're now spending about 4,550 you're short every month, not dramatically, maybe $300, $400. So you adjust again. You use a credit card. You tell yourself it's temporary, and technically, it is. But the pattern isn't. This is where the real cost begins. Not when you overspend once, but when your lifestyle quietly becomes dependent on future income. Because now you're not just living on what you earn, you're living on what you expect to earn later. That difference is subtle but dangerous. Most people don't do this because they're irresponsible. They do it because of something much simpler: visibility. In your 20s and 30s, success isn't measured privately. It's observed. Your apartment, your car, your vacations, your clothes, these are signals. And humans are wired to match signals, not logic. So even if you understand the math, you still feel the pressure. Because not upgrading feels like falling behind, even when it isn't. There's also a structural issue most people don't notice. Income has increased over time, but so has the cost of appearing normal. What used to be luxury is now baseline. A studio apartment in a major city isn't seen as success anymore. It's expected. Owning a reliable car isn't impressive. It's assumed. Traveling once a year isn't indulgent. It's standard. So the financial bar keeps rising without anyone formally agreeing to it. Now let's extend the math. That extra $400 a month you're overspending, that's $4,800 a year. Over 5 years, that's $24,000. But the real cost isn't the spending, it's the opportunity cost. If instead, that same $400 was invested monthly, even at a modest 7% return in 10 years, it grows to roughly $69,000. In 20 years, over $200,000. So the decision isn't just spend $400 or save $400. It's appear slightly more successful today, or quietly build 6 figures over time. This trade-off doesn't feel real in the moment, because the reward of spending is immediate. You see it, others see it. The reward of saving is invisible. Nothing changes externally. Your life looks the same, and that's the problem. Because humans respond to visible progress, not invisible stability. Over time, this creates something very specific, a lifestyle that looks stable, but is actually fragile. You're earning more each year, but your expenses are rising just as fast. So your margin, the only thing that actually matters, stays the same, or worse, disappears. And from the outside, everything still looks fine. There's a different way some people approach this. They don't avoid spending. They just separate two ideas: living well and looking successful. They optimize for one, not both. So instead of upgrading everything at once, they stay selective. They might choose a smaller apartment but invest consistently, or keep an older car but maintain a strong cash buffer, or limit visible spending while increasing invisible assets. From the outside, they look average, but financially, they're building something real. This creates a quiet advantage over time. Because while others are maintaining an image, they're building flexibility. They can handle job loss without panic. They can switch careers without pressure. They can take opportunities without needing immediate income, and none of that shows up on social media. So the question isn't, can you afford a better lifestyle? It's, what does that lifestyle cost you, long term? Not just in money, but in options. Because real financial strength isn't visible in your 20s and 30s. It shows up later, in the choices you have. And the pressure you don't feel. Looking successful has a price, and for many people, that price isn't obvious until years later. Not because they made a single bad decision, but because they made 100 small, reasonable ones that all pointed in the same direction. So the goal isn't to avoid spending. It's to understand what you're trading for it, quietly, rationally, without pressure to prove anything.